All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a different pace. We're just basically going to have a little chat. Kind of like a therapy session for us, but online.
Just because I think the best therapy is the therapy that everyone can look at and judge.
So this is like a new series that we thought we'd give a go. It's going to be Thoughts with Filmmakers. We're going to bring in like friends of ours and various filmmakers that we know and just chat to them about different topics within the filmmaking industry. So without further ado, here's our first guest. We have Mr. CK Morrison. Welcome to your own desk.
Yeah.
So today's topic we're going to be talking about, is it too late to get into filmmaking? So we're going to whack 5 minutes on the clock and let's go for it. You personally, do you think it is too late to get into filmmaking?
On a personal standpoint, like as an individual, I don't ever think it's too late to do anything. People who know what they want to do with their life, they've just tasted enough things. And people who haven't found their passion, they just haven't tasted enough. So yeah, no, I don't think it's too late at all. I think it's just...
I agree with that. I never think it's too late to start something new.
Yeah, I think that there's always that statistic that goes around where Morgan Freeman was like, I think 60 or something, like 55 before he got his first big role. Like Shawshank Redemption was his highlight role, and he was what? I think the actual term was old as fuck when he was cast in that. I mean, he played God.
He played, that's like the stuff, as good as he gets, really.
Where else do you go?
Imagine showing up to the next audition and they're like, oh, we want you to play this old man on a bus. And he's like, well, I've just come from God, mate. So it's a bit of a... I don't think it's too late to get into anything. I don't think it's too late to get into filmmaking. I do think people need to understand now that this is a very saturated market, and getting into it is tougher than it was 5 years prior and before that. So you kind of have to learn what you're getting into, I think. Yeah. And where you want to be in the industry. What do you want to do? Do you want to be like a YouTuber? Do you want to be like someone who creates music videos, documentaries? You kind of need to find that niche quite early on, because otherwise you're just going to get washed out. There's so many people who can do so much stuff now, and it's so accessible to everyone. That if you don't kind of find that niche kind of early on, I think it's quite hard to...
Yeah, so I know, I think there's value in finding your niche early, but I think there is also value in, like what you said, testing the waters.
That maybe might come across a little bit negative in terms of me saying it's a saturated market, but then on the other hand, I remember having a conversation when I was getting into filmmaking with my grandpa, and he just couldn't comprehend how you could make a living through video. On that hand, seeing a generation, 2 generations before, even my dad was like, how are you going to make a living out of this? To see them not really have that mindset of where this could go is quite another positive, really, that we've proven that this generation can make a living out of content and video, and it is there's a massive high demand for it.
And they're turn into the younger generation to be like, how do you do that? Yes, there's a saturated market, but it's never been a bigger market.
Yeah, exactly. So
visual content is so coveted, from every brand in the world.
More and more companies are needing it. Yeah.
I think it takes about 5 years to get to a place where you can, and I know it's a bit crass sometimes and people don't like to talk about it, but to make money. But that's the best achievement you can have in your life, to make money doing what you love. So I think that takes 5 years to get to. Probably more to make more money, and obviously maybe less if you're lucky, know people, or super talented. So I'm trying to put myself into the position that I've just started out. I'm literally just about to pick up this camera and I'm about to start this journey, and I'm right now and I'm looking at where the film industry is going. I'm thinking, is this going to be there for me in 5 years' time once I've cultivated that skill? I think it's still worth getting into, but I think in 10 years' time, I think that's where online content's going to be right, almost done. So you need to go into the industry with the idea of your allegiance isn't to being a DOP, your allegiance isn't to lighting or cameras, your allegiance is to stories. You'll never be out of a job as a filmmaker is if you think of yourself as a storyteller. Back hundreds of years ago, the novel was king. Then theater came along, and theater was huge. People loved it. It was the best entertainment of the time. And then cinema came along, and then since then, since the last maybe the last 90 years or something, cinema is just cinema, TV, moving image has just been the core of entertainment. Yeah. So it's just raised the question, it's obviously not, we'll be silly to think that it's always going to be like that. It's not, it's not impervious to change, and it's going to have to change at some point. I think we're kind of seeing the start of that now.
Yeah, we're starting to get into that period.
So if you can make yourself malleable and adaptable, which I'm almost 100% will be AR and VR. Once they come around, and if you embrace them, you're set for another 50 years, because AR and VR are going to be the future for 50, 100. It's just
on to the next thing.
Where's it going to go after that? AR, VR. What can you even do?
Yeah.
That's when Hunger Games comes out. You know what I mean? When people turn around and go, "Is it that bad?" It's quite entertaining. Come on.
Yeah, that's full circle then, because it started off in like kind of like
Yeah, like the
entertainment started off in
gladiators.
gladiators.
Yeah.
We made it more civilized, and they're like, bit boring now.
They want to go back to the killing.
Let's go back. Yeah. People love the killing. Yeah, they did love the killing. All right, we'll do a bit of killing. I think Calum should have the last word, last say, because he's the guest.
Legitness. Sorry, that was a meme.
Sorry, I just got itched my foot.
Oh, you didn't even put socks on for this occasion?
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was a close-up. But
I think your feet are probably in that one.
my hairy toes are in the
Yeah,
shot.
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what I say now. No one's going to respect me, are they?
No.
They're just look. There's like, what the fuck is this hobbit talking about?